Hello everyone, this is Basil the Ortho Biker. So I'm here to discuss progressive 412s. Are they worth it? Oh yes, very much so are they worth it. So as some of you may remember, in my previous video I discussed some future plans and upgrades for the motorcycle. Well, this past week I managed to install the progressive 412s and actually did the Energy One clutch pack install yesterday. Now, I was planning on doing install videos for those, but you know, I was already having issues with my blood sugar crashing like every 20 minutes while working on the bike, and that already caused the whole thing to take twice as long as it was supposed to. If I had tried to record it, I would not have got it all done in one day, so I didn't do an install video. But to be fair, there are already, you know, countless install videos for clutch packs, and the shock installs are surprisingly easy. The only pain in the butt part is getting the bottom bolt loose, because there's a nut on the back and you don't really get good leverage on either because of where they're at, and because the Torx socket bits for my socket wrench are kind of long. So it took me a while to get those two bottom bolts out. But once those came out, everything else is a cinch. I also removed the belt guard as well, so just a little bit of weight off the bike, not much, and a little bit cleaner look on the right side of the bike. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about the progressive 412s. It's so pretty out here. So are the progressive 412s worth it? Yes, they are definitely worth it. My goodness, some really washboard rough roads have pretty much disappeared as far as what I feel like my lower back and my butt to the seat. And this is the first time I've taken the bike out on this road or any other road with nice turns and twisties since the shocks were installed. So I'm going to see how well the shocks handle in the corners. I know I can lean the bike over further than I usually would, because I'm not scraping hard parts. And here's the tracks. Oh, very nice. And I gotta say, that new clutch pack, this bike definitely pulls a little bit harder. It's got full engagement. The clutch is a little bit harder to pull in, but you know, that's fine. Oh, I can tackle these corners pretty hard now with these new shocks in here. Whee! Oh yeah, these shocks are way better than stock. I can go into the corner a lot harder, and it doesn't feel like it's going to get squirrely on me. Plus it's holding the line a lot better. And because I got the increased height from the, 12.5 inch shocks versus I think it's 11.5. 11 or 11.5 inch shock, I don't really remember. I am not scraping hard parts. And I really, really like that. This is probably the hardest I've been able to tackle this road since I've gotten this bike. So yeah, these shocks are really nice on a Sportster for the corners. And so far it's done absorb all the bumps that are normally on this road, especially the train tracks back there. I mean, of course I knew I went over train tracks, but none of the jarring shocks came to the bike that normally do. And I have not scraped hard parts once as far as I'm leaning over, and that's nice. I don't have to worry about my exhaust anymore. Oh, no squirreliness, no. This is nice and solid in the corners. Wow, wow, these shocks are awesome. Now that's why I got an actual racing shocks or anything like that, but for the low price tag on these, for what you get performance-wise and comfort-wise, oh yeah, these shocks are amazing for the Sportster. So if you don't have progressive 412s, seriously get them. They're pretty good. I guess I better slow down. 35. I think that's the quickest I ever burned through that road. But yeah, with these new shocks on here, the bike just kind of wants to go into a corner. I mean, it's not a sport bike. It's not gonna. You're not gonna drag me on a Sportster, but it certainly makes it a little bit more playful in the corners. That's for sure. You can go into the corners a lot harder. I like it. So that was the cornering test. Why don't we go ahead and fast forward to the washboard road that I normally have a rough time on whenever I'm out for a ride. Alright, so we're about ready to turn off of the bridge. Now the corner up here is one I have notoriously almost always scraped the bottom exhaust ball on when I'm turning under this road. So this will be a really good test to see if that additional height. Oh, it's still scraped. Oh well, I went in that harder than I probably should have, but it's still passed. Alright, so we're about to pass over the Cotter Bridge. The scenic road, as I like to call it, going back towards 62. Ooh, watch out faster. Alright, so we're on the Cotter Bridge, as I'm sure you can tell. And it's really beautiful this time of year over there. I'm sure you can't see it, but in spring this will be a lot brighter in color. But the road going left off the turnoff up here is horrible. Once you get past the turnoff, maybe about a quarter mile up, it turned into pretty much a washboard. It's very badly maintained, and this road always kind of shakes my teeth loose whenever I'm riding on it. Thank you. So while the handling and cornering aspects are kind of awesome, the main reason I got the suspension was for comfort, you know, because I ride this bike a lot. It's my primary form of transportation, and I want to do local touring and some long distance touring on this bike, and I really need suspension if I plan on doing that on this bike, because stock suspension sucks, and with enough time in the seat it hurts. But so far the suspension's soaking up the shocks from this road pretty nice. I'm sure you saw from my few brief pauses in speech I had some pretty hard bumps, but they weren't really that bad. But this isn't even the worst part of it, so we'll have to fast forward just a little bit. It's so pretty along this road. So here we're getting into the, it's still a little rough, but it's way better than it was with the stock shocks. And I can feel the bumps, but it's not like jarring. It's not like a jarring shock to my back and wanting to shake my teeth out of my head. Yeah, see, that part was way better than it was otherwise. So comfort-wise, these shocks do a pretty good job. Now, I got 2 clicks of preload on here. I don't know if I need to make adjustments up or down in that regard. There's really no paperwork that comes with them to tell you what you should put on these shocks for preload. And that may be something I have to do a search online, the forums and whatnot, see what's best for a solo rider. But let me get back on this road, heading back home, and I'll give you my final thoughts. So the progressive 412s, they're pretty much what a lot of people get for the Sportster. got to say, it's definitely worth the, I think it's what, $320 for them. It greatly improves the ride and handling in a corner. I mean, it really improves the handling in a corner. I was kind of surprised at how well this bike did. And if you get the long enough suspension, it'll raise the bike enough where it gives you a little bit more lean angle. It makes the bike a little bit more playful on the road. Also, it does drastically improve the comfort of this bike. So if you're a person like me who likes to take their bike on longer rides, then I would highly, highly recommend getting the Progressive 412. Now, you can get other more expensive options, but when you think of the performance parameters of this bike, I mean, it's not a performance bike. You're probably not going to be racing with it. You're probably not going to be tackling the corners like you would a sport bike. You're not going to drag knee. So I think anything more expensive than these Progressive 412s might just be a little bit overkill. I mean, that's just my opinion, but that's where I think it's at. So, great handling, great performance, great comfort. These shocks have pretty much improved all around the riding and performance of this bike on the road, and I couldn't have asked for anything more. I think these shocks are an excellent bang for your buck. What you get for the money, what it does for the overall ride and performance of the bike, it's a no-brainer in my opinion. It's something I wish I had done sooner. Definitely before my ride to Houston. Dear Lord, I could have used these so much on my ride to Houston. But in any case, I think that's about all I got to say here. If you like what you hear, like what you see, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon in the lower right hand corner. You get notifications of any future videos and content they put out down the road. I love having a conversation with you guys, so please feel free to leave a comment. I try to respond to all comments to the left, and I love having a conversation with you guys about motorcycles. That's why I do this, sharing the love and passion for motorcycles for everyone else. But as always, keep the T-wheels on the ground, shiny side up, ride safe, and peace out. Hello, horsies. I got more horsies than all of you combined. Bring it.